Hello, for this video, I'm going to show you how to access Scholastic News. So you open up your browser tab and you go to Scholastic News, scholastic.com/SN2. Once you get to this website, it's going to show you class order, login. It'll show you our free issue that you can preview. I want you to go to login. Go to login that says I am a student. Click that. It'll bring you to this, and it says enter classroom password. Our classroom password is NITOLOG2, NITOLOG2, and then hit sign in. Once you're signed in, it's going to bring you up the homepage. These are all of the current issues in Scholastic News. Right now, we're going to go through an older issue that I sent home. I sent home all of these February issues. So click on the Clean Water Warrior. From this website here, these are all the activities that you can do at home on this issue. It has the video, Kids Can Change the World. Please watch that video before you start reading the article. There's also a slideshow of vocabulary words where it will introduce all the vocabulary going to be used. You'll have an opinion writing activity. And then there's games that you can play when you're finished. If you look on the right, this will give you the links to the other issues that I sent home. But we're going to explore this issue first. If you click on the issue itself, it should open up the options for this. Here it is, listen and read. I want you to click on level. That's the one that I sent home. And it's going to open up the issue. Now, there are a lot of fun options with this. It'll let you watch the video right from there, preview the vocabulary or the game. Your toolbar on the top will allow you to highlight certain text. It'll give you the option to have it read aloud to you if you have difficulty reading it. You can zoom in, zoom out, or fit to the screen, or go to full screen. You can turn the page up here or right here. Hello, scholars. Today we're going to be working on the Scholastic News, the Clean Water Warrior. For this lesson, you're going to need your Scholastic News that I sent home. You're also going to need the packet that comes along with it. The first page in your packet says watch a video. You can, if you haven't done so already, you can go back and you can watch the video online first. Then you can answer these questions. Right now, we're just going to read through this and then we'll do the rest of the pages. The Clean Water Warrior. Would you want to drink water like this? Mari didn't, but 6 years ago, the water in her city turned brown and dirty. Mari has been fighting for clean water ever since. As you read, think about the problem that Mari saw and how she tried to fix it. Mari Copney is a kid just like you are. She is working hard to make her city a better place to live. Mari lives in Flint, Michigan. In 2014, a dangerous metal called lead got into the water in Flint. The water smelled really bad. It looked bad too. It was cloudy and brown, not clear and clean. It wasn't safe for people to drink the water from their faucets. The water gave people headaches and stomach aches. It gave Mari's little sister a terrible rash. People couldn't cook with the water, use it to brush their teeth, or take a bath in it. The adults in Flint were working hard to make the water clean again. Mari was only 8 years old, but she wanted to help. She had an idea. Letter to the President. Mari wrote a letter to the president at the time, Barack Obama. She said she wanted to tell him about Flint. Mari wasn't sure anything would happen. She was just a kid, and he was the president. Look down at here at this picture. There's a caption, Dirty Water from Flint. There's several different water bottles full of the dirty water in Flint. But the president did something that surprised Mari. He came to Flint to learn about the water problem. The TV news came too. Newspapers started writing stories about Flint. The whole country found out about the problem in Flint. The president said he would try to help fix it, but Flint needed more help. Mari raises money. Mari thought she could help. She asked people to donate money to help fix the problem in Flint. To donate means to give people, or donate means to give. People gave a lot of money. She used the money to buy thousands of bottles of clean water for her community. Mari keeps working. Mari still works hard to help Flint. She gives speeches in front of big crowds. She makes videos and writes stories online. She asks people around the world to help. People call her Little Miss Flint. She had raised more than $500,000. She uses the money to buy bottles of clean water. She also buys water filters that people can put on their faucets to make the water clean. She says she won't stop working until everyone in Flint feels safe drinking the water again. Mari has big dreams. She wants to run for president in 2044. She believes that kids like you have a lot of power. She says, you don't have to be an adult to change the world. It starts with helping out in your own community. Don't let anyone stop you. By Blair Rainsford. Let's look at this picture here. What do you see? I see a picture of Mari and lots of bottled water. The caption says, Mari bought thousands of bottles of clean water. On the back page, it shows us a new text feature. This is a timeline of Mari's life. Instructions say read the timeline, then answer the questions. Now in class, we're used to seeing timelines that are going across the page. This one goes from the top to the bottom. Let's read it. 2005, 2006, 2007, Mari was born. 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, and you have a little line here for 2014. The water in Flint started hurting people. In 2015, 2016, Mari wrote a letter to the president. He came to Flint. 2017, 2018, Mari raised money and donated 135,000 bottles of water to people in Flint. 2019, 2020, that's today. The first question, number 1, says, what happened in 2007? Let's read all of the options. Mari donated bottles of water. Mari was born. Or Mari started 7th grade. Let's look back on our timeline and find 2007 and find out what happened. In 2007, it says Mari was born. So you can go ahead and find Mari was born and bubble that in there. Number 2, in what year did Mari write a letter to the president? It gives us 3 choices. 2007, we know that's wrong because that's when she was born. 2016 or 2019. Let's look at our timeline. The main points in the timeline have captions and pictures. 2014, the water in Flint started hurting people. That's not answering the question. 2016, Mari wrote a letter to the president. He came to Flint. That is our answer. That's our text evidence. So you can bubble in 2016. Number 3, which of these happened first? First is one of our sequence words. Mari donated 135,000 bottles of water, or Mari wrote to the president. So we have to look and find out which happened first. In our timeline, remember, it goes from the past all the way to the present. So whatever happened first is going to be further on this side towards the top. Let's look. Mari donated 135,000 bottles of water. Where is that? That is in 2018. That is more recent than her writing a letter to the president. So what happened first in this timeline of these two? It's this one here. Mari wrote a letter to the president and he came to Flint. So even though that's not the very first thing that came on the timeline, because we see that Mari was born in 2007, and in 2014, the water in Flint started hurting people. Of these two options, it's asking which of these happened first. And we know that Mari wrote to the president in 2016, and she donated 135,000 bottles of water in 2018. So what happened first? That's right, scholars. Mari wrote a letter to the president, so we can bubble that one in. Number 4. Which of these happened first? So of these two, which happened first? The president came to Flint, or the water in Flint started hurting people? Now we might know automatically that the water started hurting people before the president knew about it and came. But let's make sure. Which happened first? In 2014, the water in Flint started hurting people. 2016 is when Mari wrote a letter to the president and he came to Flint. So what happened first? That's right. In 2014, the water in Flint started hurting people. So you can bubble that in. For a bonus, in what year were you born? Put a star on the timeline. So you're going to take your pencil and find the year that you were born, and you're going to put a star on it. Some of you may have been born in 2010, so you would put a star on that. Maybe in 2009, you could put a star there, or 2011 if you were born then. Wherever you were born, you can put a star. Now, let's take out our packet. I'm going to skip this right now. I'm going to let you do this one on your own after you watch the video. I want you to turn to the Read and Think page. It says, read your issue of Scholastic News. As you read, answer the questions below. Number 1 says, start reading the article. Stop at a letter to the president. That is a heading in the article. The question asks, how old was Mari when she decided to try to help Flint? Let's go back into the text to find that answer. So we're going to start reading and stop at a letter to the president. Let's find that heading. A letter to the president is right here. So it's asking us to reread this section here. And we're looking for how old was Mari when she decided to try to help Flint. Let's find that text evidence. It says here in this last paragraph, the adults in Flint were working hard to make the water clean again. Mari was only 8 years old, but she wanted to help. She had an idea. So that tells us she decided to help when she was 8 years old. So we are going to write our answer right there. Remember to flip the question. How old was Mari when she decided to try to help Flint? I'm going to start writing Mari was 8 years old when she decided to help. Make sure I have a period at the end of my sentence and I have a capital letter to start it. Question number 2. Read a letter to the president, then stop. We're going to reread this section here. We're looking for the answer to this question. What happened after Mari wrote to the president? After is our key word in this sentence. So we're going to try to find out what happened after Mari wrote to the president. In a letter to the president, Mari wrote a letter to President at the time, Barack Obama. She wanted to tell him about Flint. Mari wasn't sure anything would happen. She was just a kid, and he was the president. But the president did something that surprised Mari. He came to Flint to learn about the water problem. The TV news came too. Newspapers started writing stories about Flint. The whole country found out about the problem in Flint. The president said he would try to help fix it, but Flint needed more help. So we're going to stop there. What happened? What happened after Mari wrote to the president? The president did something that surprised her. He came to Flint. That is a key detail. He came to Flint after she wrote to him. What else happened after she wrote to the president? The TV news came too. Newspapers started writing stories, and the whole country found out about the problem in Flint. Those are all things that happened after Mari wrote a letter to the president. So let's answer our question. What happened after Mari wrote to the president? I'm going to start after Mari wrote to the president. I'm going to put a comma. After Mari wrote to the president, what happened? He came to Flint. Flint is the city, so it's a capital letter. It's a proper noun. What else happened? He came to Flint. I'll put TV and newspapers what did they do? They wrote stories about Flint. Let me fix that B. About Flint. Now there's more that we could say, but those are the big things. After Mari wrote to the president, he came to Flint. TV and newspapers wrote stories about Flint. Okay. Number 3 says, read Mari raises money. That's this one right here. Mari raises money. So we're going to read that section, and then we're going to stop. We're going to try to answer, what did Mari buy with the money people gave? Mari raises money. Let's reread this. Mari thought she could help. She asked people to donate money to help fix the problem in Flint. To donate means to give. People gave a lot of money. She used the money to buy thousands of bottles of clean water for her community. We're going to stop there. That's the next heading. What did Mari buy with the money people gave? That's right here. She used the money to buy thousands of bottles of clean water for her community. So let's answer this. Mari bought thousands of bottles of water for her community. With the money people donated. period at the end. Number 4 says, read Mari keeps working, then stop. It says, warriors are strong and don't give up. Why do you think the cover of this issue says the Clean Water Warrior? So you're going to finish reading this section here. Mari keeps working. But then it asks you a question about the cover. Why do you think the cover of the issue says the Clean Water Warrior? So you'll have to look and see if the cover of this issue says the Clean Water Warrior. Why do you think that's the title? I'll let you answer that one, and then you can share it with me. You can take a picture of this and you can send it to me. The next page says, think like a change maker. This is an activity for you. I want you to think about today. Take a look around your community. Remember, the community is the place where you live. What is something that you don't like about it? What do you want to change? So as you think about where you live in your community, what's a problem that you can solve? How can you be just like Mari? And write out your answer here. And think about tomorrow. What do you want your community to be like in the future? What would you like to see your community like in a few years? Maybe when you have children? What do you want your community to be like in the future? Write your answer here. The next page says working towards tomorrow. How will you work towards changing your community? Here are some of the things that you can do. Choose at least one. How many? At least one. You can also write in your own. These are some of the things that you can do to change your community. Draw a picture of you working towards changing. And then tell me, complete the sentence. I will be a change maker by fill in this blank. What are you going to do to change your community? The last 2 pages are the word work. These are questions that you can answer about the vocabulary words from the Scholastic News. Let's look at these. Number 1, Mari helped her community. Which community did she help? Remember, a community can be the place where you live. It could be your neighborhood. It could be your school community. It could be your whole city or state. So which community did she help? Did she help all of Flint, Michigan? Did she help just her school? Or did she help just the people in her home? If you need to look back into the text, you can look back into the text to answer. But who is she helping? We know that she raised lots of money, she wrote to the president, and she donated thousands of bottles of water. Were those just for the people in her home? No. Were they just for her school? No. Was it for all of Flint, Michigan? Yes. So you're going to bubble in all of Flint, Michigan. That is the correct answer. Number 2, people donated money to help fix the problem in Flint. What does that mean? What does it mean when they donated? Let's look back into the text. Let's find that word donate. Right here, I see the word in bold, donate. Let's reread that. She asked people to donate money to help fix the problem in Flint. To donate means to give. What does donate mean? To give. But I see in here, I see donated. That's not exactly the same. Donate, donated. The ed tells me it happened already. It's the past tense. So what does that mean that people donated? To donate means to give. So donated means they already gave. So people gave money. That is the correct answer. Question number 3 says, water filters helped make the water blank. What do water filters do? Let's try to find water filters in our article. It says here, water filters. She also buys water filters that people can put on their faucets to make the water clean. So a water filter is something that can be put on the faucet. That's in your sink where you get your water from. And it's going to do what? It's going to help make the water clean. So water filters helped make the water clean. Doesn't make the water dirty. It doesn't make the water smelly. These are both incorrect. Number 4. Lead made the water in Flint unsafe. What is lead? Is it dirt? Is it a dangerous metal? Or is it a kind of water filter? Let's look back and find that word, lead. I see it right here. Let's reread this. In 2014, a dangerous metal called lead got into the water in Flint. What is lead? It is a dangerous metal. So it's not dirt, although it made the water dirty. It says a dangerous metal. That is the correct answer. Lead is a dangerous metal. Is it a kind of water filter? No. The water filter is what cleans the water. It takes the metal, lead, out of the water. Let's turn over to the next page. Reading checkpoint, the Clean Water Warrior. Fill in each correct answer. What is this issue mostly about? That's the main idea. What is the main idea of this whole issue? That's this whole article, all 3 pages. Is it about how Mari helped her community? Is it about why Flint's water was unsafe? Or is it about how to donate money? What is this mostly about? It tells us how Mari helped her community. That's true. The article also tells us why Flint's water was unsafe. That was because lead, the dangerous metal, was in the water. And it also told us what donating was. It didn't tell us how, though. So it's not how to donate money. It does tell us that the water in Flint was unsafe and why it was unsafe, but was that what the whole issue is about? Or was it mostly about how Mari helped her community? The answer is A, how Mari helped her community. You can look back and see many examples of how she was helping her community under each title. A is the main idea, not B. Number 2 says, when Mari was 8, what person did she write a letter to about the problem in Flint? That is a key detail. We can look back and find who she wrote a letter to. We can skim the whole thing. We can look at our headings. A letter to the president. That gives us a key. We know she was 8 years old and she wanted to help. Let's see what she did. Mari wrote a letter to the president at the time, Barack Obama. That was the president when she was 8. So number 2, who did she write to? Wasn't her best friend. That's not correct. She didn't write a letter to her teacher. She did write to the president. So going back into the text helps us find these answers. It's the president. Number 3, what does it mean to donate something? That is one of the vocabulary questions. We just answered that earlier. We know what donate means. It means to give something. So it does not mean to take something away. That is not correct. That does not make sense. It means to give something. Does it mean to make a speech? No. We know a speech is when you talk to a large crowd. So it's not that. The correct answer is B. What does it mean to donate something? It means to give something. Number 4. Look at the photo in the middle of page 3. Let's find page 3. Look at the bottom. That's page 2. We see page 3 over here. So there's one photo. What does the caption tell you? The question says, what does the caption tell you? The caption are the words that's underneath or right next to a picture. This caption tells us Mari bought thousands of bottles of water. So let's look. Does it tell us how the water became unsafe? No, that's not right. Does it say where she got the water bottles from? No, it doesn't tell me that she went to a certain store. It just says that she bought thousands of bottles of clean water. So that is incorrect as well. C. How many bottles of water did Mari bought? It tells us she bought thousands. Thousands are more than 1,000. That tells us how many she bought. Doesn't tell us exactly, but it tells us that she bought a lot of water. And number 5. The article says Mari was surprised when the president came to Flint. Which part of the article shows why she was surprised? Now, this is where we have to make an inference. It doesn't tell us specifically. We have to reread that section. Here's our options. A. Mari wasn't sure anything would happen. She was just a kid and he was the president. B says Mari had raised more than $500,000. And C says she believes that kids like you have a lot of power. Let's look at when the president came. What tells us in the text that she was surprised? What would have surprised her? Well, she wrote a letter to the president, and it says here, Mari wasn't sure anything would happen. She was just a kid and he was president. But the president did something that surprised Mari. Tells us right there, what did he do? He came to Flint to learn about the water problem. That tells me that what surprised her was she didn't think the president would come, but he did. That surprised her. So the answer is A. She wasn't sure anything would happen. She was just a kid and he was the president. B and C are both incorrect. I hope you finished the video and the rest of the packet. You can send me an email with pictures of your packet to show me your complete work. Have a great day, loves.